What's going on, people? So I gotta, as I always do, give this a second, make sure the stream pops up over on the actual YouTube thing and whatnot, and that it doesn't look like trash, because that's been a thing that's been happening a little bit lately. And there it is. It actually looks pretty decent, so that's cool. All right, fantastic. So before I go getting on into this, right, it's obviously going to be like the September action figure pickup thing or whatever. I'm going to go through these things fairly quickly or whatever, just kind of say some thoughts or whatever as like a review, if you will. Not the in depth type of thing that I would normally do if this was like an actual video. So if that's the kind of thing that you want to see, like if you want something more in depth or whatever, leave some kind of comment down below and I'll see about making that happen, right? Because otherwise, it takes a lot of time to do all the reviews and stuff, and I'm not really working with a whole lot of time on account of like other things I got going on. So it is what it is. Just going to put it out there now and move on. So let's see. First up, only because I'm having to be wearing this Ultimate Warrior shirt, we'll start with this, right? Picked this up from Target yesterday, right? So it was, I don't know if it's the Target exclusive or not, Ultimate Warrior, Ultimate Edition Ultimate Warrior, but I saw it and it looks pretty cool. So here we are, right? It's got the duster, I believe that's what you call that. Can't quite see all the details and stuff, but trust me when I say these Ultimate Editions generally deliver. And then on this other head that he has here, it's kind of got like the, I keep wanting to say battle damage because I'm used to that term, but like the paint is kind of worn off, whatever, like as in after wrestling for a bit and whatnot. Or if you're Darby Allin, just throwing a bunch of water on your face. Moving along. I picked this up while I was there. Also, it's the Curt Henning Mr. Perfect, right? So this is the Legends edition from Series 20, which is just now hitting the stores and whatnot, at least around here. I don't know how it's been going everywhere else. And then looking at the back of that, right, the only other one that I plan to pick up would be the $1 Million Man. I got nothing against Triple H, and I've got nothing really against Greg the Hammer Valentine. I'll have to see the Triple H to see which one it is or whatever. But as far as like the Greg the Hammer thing, like I don't really care. And I picked these up while I was there. Pack of the metal AEW cards. These just started making their way out, even though it says 2022 on the box, right? For whatever reason, they've been a little behind on like the releasing, or maybe that's by design. I honestly don't know. But the Marvel masterpieces, those just kind of came out last month, I think it was, and those also say 2022. You would think that if they came out in this year that they would say 2023, right? Because it is 2023. But apparently that's not how they're doing things. Anyway, so let's move on here. Get this thing opened up, right? This comes from Amazon. Should be some kind of book that I ordered for whatever. So let's set that down there. This is okay. So this is going to be Carnage Reigns, right? So there's a couple other of these books around here. Actually, I think this is them right here. So let me open these up real quick. See if I can remember what order these things are supposed to be in. Because I bought these. I've been getting back into my whole comic thing lately, and I do have the Marvel Ultimate subscription or whatever you call it, where you can go and read a bunch of like things that are older than 3 months online. But sometimes I would really just rather have the actual book itself. I prefer to read physical things, not like digital. You know, I mean, I do it, but I'm just saying. Okay, so these three. Let's see. I guess it was. I think it was Extreme Carnage. I think that was like the one that I needed to read first, right? So there's that. It's gonna be like the standard paperback thing, collecting whatever issues to make that storyline up. So there's the Extreme Carnage. There's the. I think the next one was the. Might have been the King in Black. Anyway, there's the King in Black, right? Backside there, and I think this one was third, Absolute Carnage. So there you go. There's that. Because he didn't always have like the little circle thing on his head, you know. And I think that's what's making me think that this was the one that was third. I could be wrong. And then this one comes along later, right? Carnage Reigns. This is from more this year than anything, right? Those other ones are like at least a year or two old, something like that. So this Carnage Reigns, I'll get to that one, I believe, fourth. And then there's Death of the Venomverse, which is actually going on right now. So I'll be checking that out whenever they're done doing it, right? So now we have a fairly large box to open up. But yeah, if you happen to have any comic book suggestions or whatever, I mean, I'll read anything that's like interesting and not against like, genres that I'm not into. So if you have any suggestions or whatever, go ahead and leave them wherever you feel like leaving them, as long as they're somewhere. I'll see it, right? And some people who like leave my name in the comments, whatever, you don't have to do that. Some people do that. I don't quite get it. Because the thing is, if you leave a comment on any video and it's not a reply, it's like a straight up comment, I will see it, right? That's just the way YouTube works. Let's push that down over there so I can get this thing out of here. Jesus Christ, this thing is hefty. All right. So I can set that over there. I'm going to have a lot of boxes to deal with here. So this right here, see, is that straight? Okay, that's straight. This is the Mortal Kombat 1 Collector's Edition with a K, because that's how they do that for PS5, because I'm a PS5 guy. I used to be okay with like what Xbox was doing, and then after the 360, I lost interest. And so that's what's going on there, right? It's got a little slip cover sort of thing going on. I should be able to slip this right on off. Let's see what's going on. This thing is big. So these are still in stock, though, from Target and GameStop, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely one of them. I'm leaning towards Target, maybe GameStop too, but can't really say. So it's nice though. It kind of reminds me of these. What were those shoes I bought for my dad? They're the Bape something or others. So you got this poster thing going on in here, right? Liu Kang. There's that. You got the steel book, right? Or steel case. That's what it says, anyways. So, that's got a weird smell to it. So, anyways, then you have that, right? That's what's going on the back. It's just like a dragon thing. And this is empty, which is weird. But I guess, I don't know what the deal is. Why did they give me this? Why did they give me an empty steel case? I guess it's for displaying or something. I don't know. But it's here, so yay for that, I suppose. And then you do have the game, obviously, because what would it be without the game? And that's the premium edition because it is the collector's edition, right? So, moving along, picking this up out of here. And I'm going to set that right about there. And then you have the statue, right? Because it did come with a statue. So, and I know that the video is kind of far out, so it doesn't look so great. But there's that. Let's see if I can slip this thing out easily. Oh, cool. Fantastic. Oh, this is like nice. It's kind of like, it's not as heavy as you might think. And this seems to be very hollow. But it's like a hard plasticky sort of thing going on here. Right, so there's the Liu Kang and all that stuff. Got the dragons. And someone was saying that it like might glow or something. Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. So that's why I keep the black light handy. You can't really see it, but you can just take my word for it. The eyes, they glow in the dark. So you can kind of get like a little bit of that going on there. Set this down. But I'm going to put this down now because these little spikes on the back of the dragon are not comfortable in any way. And it actually kind of hurts. So I'm going to just put this to the side. And there's that other stuff. I'll put this back together real quick so I can move on to the next things. But it's cool. Like, it's just like layers of styrofoam that they put in here. Or not styrofoam, but just standard foam. So I can sit that back down in there. Hopefully. Yeah. With my empty steel book, which makes, again, 0 sense. But hey, whatever. So hopefully the game is good, right? Because if it's not, then it's kind of like, what was the point, right? Set this here. Should have put that back in on top, but it is what it is. So that one came from GameStop, right? Like I was saying, it does come in at a hefty $250. So it's cool to get like the extra stuff. That's why I got it, right? That, and sometimes those collector's editions of things will sell fairly quickly. So I wanted to make sure I got it. Okay, good. This came the other day. I had actually made 2 orders, right? So this is the same thing, just Target sent it wrapped in plastic, which was kind of convenient because it was rainy, whatever day they delivered it. The reason I got two is because I didn't know if they were going to ship because it was a little sketchy, honestly, on account of things selling out. So I was like, did they take more orders than they have or what? But since they did deliver both, that just means that my brother's Christmas gift is now taken care of. So I'm just going to send one of these to him. I'm not going through the whole thing of opening it again because that would just be a waste of my time and yours. So now we're just going to move on. Pull these over here, keep this thing moving. I'm looking at 10 minutes or so. Not bad. Set that down there. Actually, if I can push this stuff a little further. So, got this box in. This comes from, this just says fulfillment department, so I have no idea what this is. It might be one of those eBay purchases, maybe. I've been buying a lot of eBay stuff lately because, you know, sometimes things sell out and that's the only place to get it. Usually I only do that with like action figure related things. When it comes to shoes and stuff, you know, I usually just kind of accept the fact that I missed out. What's this box like opening? Oh, right. Yeah, I usually just accept the fact that I missed out on stuff and just kind of go with it because it doesn't really matter a whole lot. But when it's something like this, if this is what I'm in the world that I'm thinking it is, then it's not so bad. This box just makes no sense. You would think that it was going to just like open up real easy like. Oh, it does. You just have to be smarter than the box. All right, let's dump some styrofoam out here on the floor, make a big mess. Oh, well, that was a lot of box for these right here. These are some more of those metal cards, but this is a hobby box sort of thing, right? So when I do the unboxing, whenever I do that live or whatever, this one should have like some actual pretty nice stuff in it or whatever. On the back, there's that. Because when you buy the other box that I had, that's just straight off a Target shelf, right? So you get mostly standard issue stuff, like, which is a nice way of saying crap. But when you buy those hobby boxes, then you are more likely to get some stuff that's actually worth something. Not that I care if it's worth anything, since I'm like an actual fan of this stuff. That's why I buy it. But it is nice to know that, hey, like, I've got a chance of getting something that's sought after. So, speaking of this, who may or may not be sought after, I meant to grab that other Matt Riddle figure. So this is a Matt Riddle figure. This is the top picks, right? So if you saw a series, I want to say 99, it looked basically the same. What's different about it? I honestly don't know, right? Usually when they do these top picks ones, it's on this side on the back, but when they do these top picks, right, it's just kind of like a repaint sort of thing. So you saw me when I was talking about that with the Seth Rollins figures. So I'm going to have to pull up the other one later and see what exactly is different. But basically, it's Matt Riddle. He's got the Hey Randy shirt on, so that's kind of cool if it would focus. It's got the little scooter down there because remember he was going through a scooter phase. So it's a pretty nice figure. I do like it, right? And then those are the other ones that they did repaints of. So the Rey Mysterio when he lost his eye with the whole Seth Rollins thing. I actually have that figure up there. And then the Cody Rhodes. And I do have that Cody. That was series 100. No, it wasn't. 101 or 2. Either way, it's been a while since I bought like a full Elite wave. And it was in the last Elite wave that I bought. I just can't remember the number. All right. This comes from Mattel Creations. So if you buy stuff from them or whatever, you'll end up on their mailing list and they'll start telling you about all kinds of nonsense. And then if you're like me, you fall for it, right? So this right here happens to be Pictionary. It's, you know, from the Inktober thing. So whoever the guy was that started the Inktober trend, he got with the Pictionary people or Mattel, whoever, and now they have this, right? Is this one of the... Okay, so this should be relatively easy to get on into. Just going to cut on into that. That tape is... Okay. So, let's see here. Yeah, it's one of those like magnetic style boxes, right? And what is all this? Like, there's some fancy presentation going on in here. You got this plastic thing. What is happening here? This book? Well, you know what? This is a later thing. This is not happening right now because it seems cool. Don't get me wrong, but I am not trying to do this right now. Did I just hit the... Oh, I think I just hit something. But the video still seems to be up there, so I'm just gonna go with it. Is it? I don't know. I'll know in a second. I just gotta wait for the StreamYard thing to catch up to, or the YouTube to catch up to the StreamYard. Either way, let's go getting on into this box here. So this one definitely looks like an eBay purchase just because it looks so weird, you know? Normally when I get things from actual people or whatever, like actual vendors, they aren't looking like homemade boxes. I'd show you the front, but it's got my address on there. And I mean, if you want my address, I guess if you ask nicely, I'll give it to you. But I'm not just going to go broadcasting it to the world or whatever. I mean, who out there even needs it? You know what I'm saying? The people that need it have it, which is like Amazon and whatever. So, also, much like the Matt Riddle figure, this guy was recently released. Tito's Kicks. Hey, what's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a while, but that's mostly my fault. I'm sure you've been active. I just have not. So, but yeah, so Dolph Ziggler, this figure, I kind of wanted it. I was waiting on it to go on sale. Then he got released and they all sold out pretty quick, right? So there is that. And if you buy all those other guys down there, right, then you can build Curt Henning, which you actually just saw Curt Henning not all that long ago. But this, I mean, it's not my favorite look for Dolph Ziggler, right? It doesn't really stand out to me or whatever. But it's not bad either. It's just I've seen him over the years, and this one, while fine, didn't really like blow me away by any means. So it is what it is. But I can't complain about it at all though. So I just want to stress that it's just one of those things where you may not really like be into something, but at the same time, you may not have any reason to really talk it up either. So this is also a Mattel Creations thing. I just knocked not a bunch of stuff over, but some stuff over, so I had to see how this domino effect played out. I do like my Uno, and this, while not for me, is a set of Uno cards, so I forget the lady's name. It's Martin, Shantell Martin. Either way, she's some kind of English artist person. She got with them, made some oversized Uno cards, which is why this box is kind of large. The cards are also going to be kind of large. But a friend of mine, she's into like art type things and whatnot. So that's going to be a gift going her way whenever I get around to making that happen. I did buy the other Uno set that they did recently, which was the Marvel Ultimate something or other. It's right there, but I can barely read it because there's a box on top of it. But either way, so I bought the Marvel Ultimate Uno thing a while ago, right before I went up to Philadelphia for that New Japan wrestling show, New Japan and Impact. And that thing is like really fun once you get the rules down and stuff. I'm pretty sure it's still in stock on whatchamacallit. Wait a second. This could be a problem. Huh. I'll be. Well, not really a problem per se, but I don't always remember the things that I buy, obviously, because here's another Matt Riddle figure, right? What happened with that? Because I bought this for my dad. Oh, that's what it was. I bought this for my dad, right? Because he was a fan of like Debo and stuff, and there were no Debo action figures, but this was there, and I figured I'll get this for him, right? And since I wanted this, I figured let me just order it right now too, because it's kind of coming back to me. But then once he got released, it was before any of this stuff had shipped, or at least before I knew that I had it anyways. And I honestly just completely forgot. So that's why I bought another Matt Riddle days later. That's the problem when I don't like open this stuff in a timely manner or whatever. I just kind of lose sight of what I have. So, Iron Studios. Anybody familiar with Iron Studios? Actually, hold on a second. This Zeus figure is actually like pretty cool. I think he's going to be into this. Let's go back to that for a minute. So, I kind of wish this thing would focus a little bit. That's not too bad there. But yeah, so that's him, right? Yeah, obviously that's kind of what he looked like or whatever. It's a pretty nice figure. Like I would highly suggest this one. If you don't know about it or whatever, I get it because it was kind of like not a limited release, but I don't think it was in a lot of stores either. But head on over to Ringside Collectibles. I think I want to say $17.99, something like that. Normally retail is about like $23, $25. I can't remember what they changed the price to, but on there right now it's on sale because it's a little bit older. But since it's a little bit older and it's on sale, that kind of means you can test the waters and whatever and see if like waiting for it lets it go down a little bit farther. Sometimes that does happen. Or maybe you should just buy it now and just call it a day, right? Kind of depends on you. There we go. So, Moon Knight, Iron Studios figure, right? So I don't know if it's what it says on there, but it does say on the back, Iron Studios. If you saw the Ninja Turtles, the little mini Ninja Turtles review thing I did, same sort of deal, right? This, I am curious to see what this thing looks like. I bought it from Sideshow Collectibles, which I don't buy from Sideshow a lot because if you're into like these action figure type things or whatever, you know that Sideshow purchases do not come cheap. And this, it's an Iron Studios thing, like I said, so it's cheaper, right? It's just that Iron Studios sold out of it, but Sideshow still had some. And I was able to use some kind of discount thing or whatever. So that is why I bought it. I'd wanted it, I was just hoping it would go on sale, but it sold out before it went on sale. Kind of like the whole thing I was talking about just a minute ago with Zeus. So now, let's go ahead and get this thing opened up. It should be a quick, easy to put together sort of thing, unlike that forge that's on my desk in there. That, not so much. But this looks like it's going to be just the two pieces. So you have the main piece right here, which is going to be Moon Knight, right? And then over here, as I'm trying to multitask just a wee bit. Okay, so it's got this piece going on here. Oh, so you have like the little stick thing on the bottom of the foot, and then you usually have something like that going on the actual stand. Same thing with the forward figure. And then it just kind of slips on down in there. And there we go. Perfect. So it's a Moon Knight figure, right? So not bad. As far as like a standard, let me grab this. This is a Masters of the Universe Revelations figure, but it's like the off-white edition, you know, the Virgil Abloh thing. So if you want like an idea for scale or whatever, bring that back just a little bit. You know, it's about twice the size almost, but if you look at like the figure itself, scale-wise, I think they're good because Moon Knight is like a taller guy. So if you have other figures or whatever that aren't McFarlane style, because the McFarlane ones are 7 inches, if you throw some of these around there, it won't look out of place. So very cool. I do like the way it came out, right? Just bring that in there, let you get a little bit of the detail and whatnot. But I do still want the Sideshow one. It has like these glow-in-the-dark eyes and stuff. So it's also a couple hundred. I think this was like in the 190, 170 range, something like that. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that I want, and I can't get all of it, but luckily I'm fortunate enough that I can get a lot of it, right? So I don't complain about the things that I can't get. I just know that I don't get everything. And then even when I do get stuff, sometimes I forget about it, as you saw moments ago. So, getting there. All right, there's that. Bring this stack of things over here. This is the last stack of stuff, right? Okay, and what are we looking at here? It's been almost 20 minutes, or just over 20 minutes, about 7 o'clock. So I should be able to get this whole thing all wrapped up with time to go ahead and watch Collision tonight, the AEW thing. Finally caught up on stuff. Oh, that's what this is. This came with a sticker. That's a mustard plug sticker. If you're a fan of ska, or maybe if you're from Michigan, I guess, you might know what mustard plug is. If you are not in either of those categories, hey, it is what it is. But I saw this shirt when they were here for the Supernova Ska Festival. They were out of my size, and the guy was like, I think we just sold out of that, but if you hop on the webpage, you should be able to buy it still there. And that is exactly what happened. I do like the way that shirt came out. It's got a bunch of stuff on there. It looks really cool. Some Vans shoes and whatnot. Normally, if this was an actual review, you'd be seeing a picture of that right now. But I threw the shirt away before I started talking about it, which is kind of a habit. So a bit of a mistake on my part. But if you've watched any of my videos in the past, I make a lot of mistakes. And it's not uncommon for me to point them out as I'm doing right now. What was all that? Okay, so this comes from that festival I was talking about. So Supernova Ska, right? Jeez. There we go. That's what that is. So that's just a little pin. This right here is a sticker of the same variety, right? So there's that. So this guy here. This is another pin, but it's like more of like the circle one that you would put on like a shirt or something. So there's that piece of it. When I was younger, I used to like take these things for some reason, the little needle thing on the back, and like stick it through the skin in my finger and like have it on my finger. I don't know why I was so into that, but I was. It was probably not a good idea, but it was a thing I did like all the time. Another one of those stickers. And okay, here's another sticker, but this one is circular, right? Supernova Ska Festival. It was actually a really good time. I'll have more on that later. And then another one of these pins. I had ordered 2 shirts. The other one was a tank top, but I guess they sold out of that before they could get it all shipped out. It is what it is. I did at least get this one, and it is a tour shirt, right? So on the front, you kind of have the Supernova thing. Just take my word for it. On the back, Fort Monroe, Virginia, because that's where it was, and a bunch of ska bands that were there over the 3 days because it was a 3-day festival, much like a lot of the other festivals that I've been to. Only difference being that this one, it was like the perfect size. It wasn't like overflowing with people, like, but there was still like a really good turnout, you know? It was probably honestly like the best festival I've been to in a while. Not because of the lineup or whatever, but just top to bottom, just the logistics of it, you know. Overall, best festival. I mean, it's got to be Austin City Limits. Like I went twice, 2015 and 2017. It's got to be one of those. If I was to really like say which one I like the most. Okay. Put that down there. This must be a Fanatics thing. Yeah, this is a Fanatics purchase, right? I did a Fanatics review not too long ago. Long story short, if you buy a shirt from there and you like it, and you buy another shirt thinking you like that one too, you might, but you might also not because all the shirts are different. So this one, Rick Boogs, right? So what does that say down there? Always time to shred. Yeah. So Rick Boogs, also the recently released group. Let me turn this light down because that's shining just a little bright. If you're a hue person, these little hue dial things are fantastic to have. So either way, Rick Boogs, right? Then on the back, you got that going on. Unfortunately, he was released recently, which sucks. I was there at WrestleMania last year watching him perform and all that stuff, and that's where he got injured. So the first time I saw him live, also the last time I will see him live, at least in that persona, maybe. And then a Go for Bro tank top, right? So it's not fully unfolded, but just take my word for it. That's what's going on here. So if you've watched any of my slide videos in the past, you know that I usually wear Matt Riddle shirts in the slide videos because it's the Matt Riddle thing. And I have some slide videos coming up to do, so needed a shirt for the video. Sometimes that's where my purchases come from. Moving along, also from Fanatics. This one is actually Fanatics branded. So there you have that, right? Little Fanatics thing and stuff. So this one is going to be Elias. So he also was released recently. So, you know, it's one of those things where let me go and buy these shirts while I can for the people that I like and just never got around to. Unfortunately, I completely missed my window with the whole Jade Cargill thing because when you buy from Pro Wrestling Tees, it's all made to order stuff. They don't just have them in stock waiting to ship out. So when somebody stops working there, they just take the shirt designs down and you just can't order them anymore. It's kind of a same day sort of thing in some cases, right? CM Punk, it took a little while, but you know, that's kind of a good thing. All right. This, I do need to grab something else real quick because this one is a Riddler figure, right? So you may have seen me open up one of these, not completely open it up or whatever, but I opened one of these up recently. Only difference being that it was, I'll show you real quick. The last one was the Platinum Edition. That's why it has the little gold thing down there. Some of my other McFarlane things, which aren't around right now, are gold label, which usually sit around at the top. But either way, so silver, or excuse me, platinum edition, standard edition, right? So that's what's going on as far as like the looks and stuff. So right off the top, I kind of like this one more, right? I like the extra question marks on it. It just kind of looks better to me. But this one was limited, and I won a raffle thing to get it, so can't really complain about that. But all in all, like the figure is very much the same. Actually, the face there, see how that face is? It just kind of has like kind of plain or whatever. You know, it's got like eyes and stuff or pupils. This one is more whited out, right? So this also just gives it a better look. This one, I was gonna say he looks like a joke, but I guess that kind of goes along with his whole thing, right? So all in all, not bad or whatever. I'm not gonna complain about either one, but if they were both on if they were both on the shelves, I'd obviously buy both of them. But if they just made like, let's say one was just a minor chase like they do with like the elite figures, yeah, I would not have chased down the platinum one. Yeah, I just wouldn't have thought it was that great, you know. But that's just me, and apparently some other people, because I saw things on Twitter where people like, the platinum one is cool because it's platinum, but it's not better than the one that you just put out. And that other one, the one that didn't have the label on it, that one just came out, so you can buy that one still from Target, pretty sure Amazon, the McFarlane's shop, and maybe Walmart also. What is this? Oh, cool. Unfortunately, I am boxed in here, like quite literally, because there are boxes everywhere. So I can't show you the other comic, but it'll be worth the wait and you'll see it eventually. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter issue number 3. So they do have this big wide display. So if you get all of the comics, it does make a little bit of a fight scene thing going on. So the other two had Raphael and Michelangelo. So I'm not sure who all is going to be on the last two, because I believe it's supposed to be a 5-issue thing. Obviously Leonardo, but if it's 5 issues, I'm not sure who's going to be on. And it is 5 for sure, definitely 5. I'm not sure who will be on that 5th one. But either way, so that's what this one's looking like. So I'll put up some pictures later or something or whatever, just to, if you are one of those people that follows me or whatever, I'll put it in the community thing. I'm not saying like to follow me. I honestly don't care if you do or not, right? Because like the videos and pictures and whatnot, like you can still get to them. I think it's just you have to go out of your way to get to them if you're not subscribed or whatever. I don't know. I don't pay it any attention. So this Mondo Anti-Eternia He-Man limited edition variant. This was something that I recently found out existed, and when I did, boy, did I want it. And apparently I wanted it enough that I didn't mind paying, well, I don't say I didn't mind, but I certainly paid it. It was $100 over retail, right? Which is fine for stuff like this, because it's like it's limited. It's the way Mondo does their figures. It's like they put it up for a week, and if you buy it within that week, you're good. They'll send them on out later. And then if you keep paying attention, they will eventually put out a non-timed release, which is one thing that I often say. When in these shipping boxes, you often have these little black things on the corners to keep your box in pristine shape. So very cool, very cool. But anyway, so if you miss out on the first wave of like the limited edition timed ones, they usually release a standard one shortly after. And the only difference being that some of the extra stuff that the limited one comes with, the standard one will not. So in the case of, who was it? In the case of Sabretooth, the standard one didn't have the extra machine head and something else. In the case of the Phantasm one, you don't get the Angela upper, and it's missing like some extra hands or something. So it's not always stuff that really matters, but you know, for a difference of like, I don't know, like $10, $15 or something, you may as well just go ahead and get the timed one if you have the means to do it. All right, so now that I've got that out of the way, let's go ahead and open this bag up, right? But the other thing, if you are looking to get Mondo stuff, I mean, retail for this, I want to say was $230. I paid $315 or $319. I can picture it in my head, but I can't quite make it out. I'm not saying I have like a photographic memory. I don't. I'm just saying like I remember seeing it in my head or seeing it and just not really committing it to memory, just knowing that, hey, actually I don't need to open this because these things have that like magnetic style thing. So let's do that. And that is completely useless, so I would have had to open it because he's all wrapped up and mummified. But that just means this is a thing for later, but just trust me on that. Like, it's basically going to look like that, right? If you've seen any other things that I've opened up from the Mondo world, it shouldn't be too different. But speaking of, this is that Sabretooth I was talking about. So this was limited to 1,800, and this is the standard one. I didn't do the timed release because I didn't know that there was a timed release. This other one was, it doesn't say what the limited number was. Actually, yeah, it won't say the limited number because the number is limited to however many people pre-order it. So there you go. That's why they're called timed editions, right? But this one, after the fact, they don't mass produce these like over a certain amount of time. They just make however many they make. In this case, what did I say, 1,800? 1,800. So it is what it is. You just got to jump on there relatively early, perhaps. This one doesn't have the blockers on it, which is okay. So there's that, right? I'm going to get this opened up a little bit more, though, because it's kind of like the Magneto that I picked up in July. If you saw that video or not, whatever. Because these are from the animated series thing. And actually, the guy that did the art for the animated series, Dan Bessemer or something, I actually got his autograph on something because I was standing around with the box and someone was like, his like coworker was like, hey, the guy that drew this stuff, he's like right here if you want him to sign it. So yeah, my Magneto is signed because of that. So either way, that's Sabretooth on the front, but a lot of you already know that because it's Sabretooth. Oh, they switched it up here. This one, you heard that? That's Velcro. This one, and make sure I don't knock over Moon Knight. So that's what I was saying. Actually, they said that this one wasn't going to have the robot head in it, but it does. So I'm not sure what happened with that. I'm not going to complain, but it is there. Maybe it was like the hand with the remote. Does he have the remote hand? Yeah, he does have the remote too. I don't know. So either somebody lied to me or something got messed up. I don't know. But either way, here it is. This is Sabretooth. Again, there's a bit of a glare going on, so like the content is only going to look so great. But that's why I say if you want to see more about the things that I'm opening up or whatever, just make it known that you want to see more of it. And I'll get some pictures out there, maybe one of those like short videos or something. And outside of the thumbnail, I do have one more thing to open up, right? Because I kind of forgot because the box was not in the place I thought it was. So this, right? This is a long box. It's not a long thing necessarily. It's just that, it's a long box, like the outer box or whatever. But then on the inside, it's going to be like another little shipping box, like a little Russian doll situation, right? So get this stuff all opened up. Go over here too. So I can, yeah, and it's because it didn't close all the way, so that's why like the tape is also stuck to the tape that's on the inside of the box. So yeah, it's a whole mess. It's a whole mess what's going on over here. But it is what it is. And there's that. Okay, so now let's set this guy over here. Take that out. Put this right there. That is good. Okay. got a bit of a Jenga thing going on just off the camera here. It is. I feel like if a slight breeze even came through here, which won't happen because obviously I have doors and whatnot, and windows are closed. But if a slight breeze came through here, I do feel like this stuff would just come tumbling down. That you don't see. And I don't want to cut too deeply into this box because this was an expensive thing or whatever. And it's very much sold out. So if I damage it, then that's the end of it, right? But that's the price you pay, you know, it's a dangerous game sometimes. Oh my goodness. And I guess all that worrying was for nothing to some extent anyways, because as I open this box, there is yet another box in here. So, man, they also gave you some of those little block things, right? So that's pretty nice. So do like that. This, as you may have just seen, is a McFarlane thing. So let's go ahead and turn this over upside down. Get this, see if this will just fall right on out of here. Yeah, it kind of is. Just taking a minute. All right, and now we set that over there. Second verse, same as the first. Here's the box again, and now I should be able to get to what's actually in it. Hopefully, right? Unless they throw another box. But my coworker, he said he didn't warn me about this. Said there's a lot of boxes to open to get in here. And it's weird because like I told him about this thing, and he bought it like seconds after I did or whatever, and then it sold out. It was sold out within like the first 2 minutes of going online or whatever. But that was fine. It was just weird to me that he got his first, So it doesn't bother me. Definitely doesn't bother me. Because why would it? But it's just weird, you would think that like they would ship out in the order and that like the orders were made or something. No, that's not what they're doing. Okay. This right here, Jesus Christ, is a Batmobile, right? Gold label edition, right? So McFarlane things, all that stuff. So what does that say? 22 inches long. How easy is it to get into this box? That is what determines if I will. There is a lot of tape on here that I am not trying to deal with. So I'll just leave it, like I said, with the other things. There's a big old Batmobile in here. Supposedly looks pretty cool from like pictures and from what he showed me of his. And it does also come with like the Batman as well. It was it's based off the 1989 Batman, but it was in the Flash movie as well. So there's another picture kind of sort of from that side, right? What's going on over there? So that's kind of how he looks when he's in there. Either way, so there's that. I'm not going to deal with any more past that because I don't want to. So I've covered everything that I needed to. Now I just have to clean up this mess and watch some wrestling. That is my plan for the rest of the day. What are you guys up to, right? Feel free to let me know, or don't. That's fine too. I'm about to close the video out and all that stuff. I just throw that out there. So if anybody wants to throw any last minute questions at me or whatever, on topic or off topic, this is the time to like throw out your random thoughts and such. And then I address them verbally, which is a lot easier, and you get a lot better of an answer out of me than when I'm typing stuff. Because then it's just, it depends on how many answers I've given out already. And like towards the end, I'm just like, cool, thanks. Oh, yay. Not a lot of substance behind some of my replies. I get it. It probably sucks for some people, but, I don't know. For me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Me and old Mark Spector here. Yeah, this guy's going on the desk like seconds from now. We're going to go and actually I have a video that I need to deal with real quick, right? So I'll be doing that tonight as well, in addition to watching a bunch of wrestling, or at least 2 hours worth. So thanks for stopping in. I saw like the numbers kind of go up and down or whatever. People are tuning in, tuning out, whatever. So if I was able to give you some background noise while you do whatever you do, fantastic, right? Also, I need to get the timestamps updated and whatnot with whatever I've been unboxing here. So I got some stuff to do, and I'm going to go do that. I don't see anything in the comments and whatnot, which is fine by me. It means that I am free to go about my day. So later, people.